Hi makeup friends, my name is Angeshka Safari. I am a makeup artist in New Hampshire and I just love all things indie makeup, indie beauty, perfume, nail polish has been like my recent obsession, indie teas, like I just absolutely love supporting small businesses. But I also have a lot of makeup. So I mainly wanted to talk to you guys today about some palettes I want to reach for and try to incorporate into some of my springtime looks over the next couple months. I haven't really been buying makeup very often. When I do, it's usually eyeshadow or it's something I need to like replenish on, like my brow stuff or I don't know, my eyeliner. But I wanted to come to you today and just share some beautiful eyeshadow palettes, and then I also made a little 9-pan of single shadows to share with you. Single shadows that I want to get more use out of over the next couple months. I'm not necessarily on like a no buy for makeup, but I may as well be because apparently I owe the IRS like $4,000 because when I was first hired at my job, I don't know, something got messed up. I don't know anything about taxes, so I didn't realize that I like was getting very minimal federal tax money like taken out of my paychecks every month. So I didn't know. So yeah, I'm not gonna be able to buy much new stuff for a while. There's one palette I do want to get at some point. Maybe it can be like a Mother's Day gift or something, I don't know. But yeah, I just want to get into this. So the very first palette I wanted to tell you guys about is the Odens x Angelica Nikavist Hela palette. Now this palette, first of all, I just feel like the cover is so beautiful. I like that it symbolizes like the balance between life and death. And I feel like that's very fitting for spring, and especially when you see the color story, like we've got these beautiful different tones of green. We've got these fun pops of like the pinks. There's a peachy shimmer. And then this one, this brown tone, is called Decay, which I just feel like is very fitting just for this time of year. You've got like Rebirth, which is this beautiful pastel yellow. It's one of my favorite shades in this whole palette. It might look kind of green on camera, but it is a very beautiful pastel yellow. So I like that you also get some of like the grungy tones. I just think this is a beautiful palette. I like that you have a mix of different greens. I feel like that's just very fitting for the springtime because you start to see all kinds of different regrowing plant life. So I just think it's beautiful. I like that we have a sparkly black. I'm not usually like the biggest fan of sparkly blacks, but I feel like you can just do so much with this palette. You can make it more neutral. You can make it more colorful. It's just beautiful. Plus it's got like sunsetty tones. So I always think of like beautiful sunrise skies when I look at this color story, as well as like, you know, grassy greens and foresty greens and all that. So I just love this one. I'm not wearing much from it today, but oh yeah, there's also this like not the formula's not the best on this iridescent, but it's just a beautiful like peachy iridescent shade. So that's probably one of my favorite shades in the palette, along with Rebirth. I don't know if you guys can really see those, but so yeah, this is palette number 1 that I want to try to get more use out of during the springtime. Now the next one is, you can't really see what it's supposed to say anymore, but it does say look for rainbows. And this is from Gloss Gods. Now I only ever made one Gloss Gods purchase, but I got this palette and a neutral palette from them, and I definitely prefer the neutral palette. But I mean, like, these shimmers are absolutely gorgeous. I just have a similar problem with these that I do with the brand Bella Beaute Bar. Like, the shimmers are amazing, but on my eyes they do crease, so I have to be very careful about how I work with them. But I just love that you've gotten like, you get like these beautiful turquoise tones. There's a couple more neutral leaning shades, and then you've got like pinks and purples, and then you have a couple jewel toned multi-chromes up here. Very pretty. I just want to try to get more use out of these shades, because even though I've had like some trouble with them, I feel like now that I've had it for a couple of years, it's not as hard to work with, because the formula's it's not like dried out, but it definitely seems to have gotten a little bit easier for me to work with. So these are just like 2 quick swatches of them. They are very pretty. So yeah, I'm just going to be trying to use this palette a little bit more than I have in the last few years since I've had it. Noopur's beautiful Coalescence palette from Bella Beaute Bar. This collab palette I feel like is another amazing example of a springtime palette. And it's definitely something that, I mean, it works year round. Like, you can definitely wear this any time of year. I feel like I tend to just wear whatever colors I want throughout the year, so I don't like strictly follow like seasonal colors the way a lot of people do. But I do feel like I gravitate more towards like pastels and different like champagne tones, warmer tones that I would normally wear. And I feel like this palette just has a beautiful mix of everything. Plus, this palette, like, you've got Dusk, Dawn, you've got Flora, you've got this fun green Sprout, there's Fauna, there's Chaos. I just feel like this is a very fitting palette for spring. Because, I mean, it's grungy, it's got some soft pastel shades, but they're like, kind of like more of like the neon pastels. But I feel like the ones she chose, like Dawn, Sprout, even Libra, like they're not like total pastels, but they're very light and bright, and I just feel like those pops of color are so fitting, along with the more grungier, like, I don't want to say like the dead vibes from a spring, but like some of these tones, like the gray, some of the greens, they just remind me of the way that when it starts to transition from winter to spring, you start to see like the dead trees and leaves like come back to life. And I feel like this palette just does a really good job encapsulating that vibe. So love this one. I would wear it year round. I have been, but I feel like I'm going to try to get more use out of it this springtime. Another one, this is a newer palette to my collection. I only just purchased from Nomad a few months back, I believe. But this is, okay, I don't want to butcher this. Is it Okavango Safari? I'm so sorry if I'm saying that wrong. But I like this because, I mean, we've got some beautiful neutral tones in here. But I like that they're not necessarily like super warm orange tone neutrals, but they're like more golden, I would say, like more golden tones without actually being gold. And I'm not the biggest gold person, so I love that these neutrals are just very like, they like bring the warmth back to my pale cold face after a long winter. So I love that. I love that we get some more cool toned options down here. And then the greens, of course, just reminds me of all of the grass coming back and getting uncovered by the snow. Like, I think this is so beautiful. So I am not like the biggest fan, I don't think, of the Nomad shimmers, but I think they're fun for layering. So I'm gonna try to get more use out of those. But I think their neutrals are absolutely gorgeous, especially to wear alone. I'm just very picky. Like, I want a lot of like dimension and sparkle and like colorful rainbowy flecks. Like, I love hollows. I love anything that has a lot of like multicolored sparkles in it. So, but I don't know, it's like, it's still nice to have stuff like this where the shimmers are just, they're very like true to the color, like you know what to expect. Here's just a quick swatch of 2 of the shades. I don't think they're like the best shimmers ever, but like they're good. Like, they're definitely better than a lot of the stuff I sell at work. I said what I said. So but anyway, let's continue. Robert Welsh divination. So this palette, I'm sorry guys, I'm very sick and my voice is starting to go out from talking. This palette is just like, I just feel like it is a beautiful selection of shadows. Maybe not all of them are like super fitting for spring, but I love that like these first 4 roll, I mean even this neutral row, they just are so beautiful And we've got like beautiful neons and pastels and just bright shades. We've got some darker, grungier tones. And then even the grays, like I just feel like this whole gray row is still good for spring, because in springtime, it's not just immediately sunshine and rainbows and flowers. It's like dead grass. There's just crunchy leaves on the ground, and you know, things take a minute to get jump started back into growth. Beautiful palette, plus I love that it's like divination themed. I wore, I'll have to see if I can find a picture of it. I wore like these yellow tones very recently, so I'm just absolutely loving all of this. I might have to finish filming this video tomorrow. But okay, I'm gonna try to speed up. So the next palette is a JCat Storm Stimulation palette. I just think this is very fitting for like the April showers type of theme. We've got a lot of blues. It's literally called Storm Stimulation. But I like that there's still like a sunny yellow. There's a bright orange, which is part of my look today. Very pretty. And also the JCat shimmers in these chaotic element palettes are amazing, just saying. Okay, lastly, before I get into my 9 pan, we have Bella Beaute Bar's Pastel Garden palette. I'm wearing the orange shimmer on my eyes, which I'll tell you more about later. But yeah, I mean, pastels, springtime, we've got all kinds of tones. This palette I do use year round. I love this palette so much. Even though I don't always use the shimmers, I just think the mattes are very good. And I don't have any other true pastel palettes like this, so it's just my go-to. Absolutely love it. Highly recommend the Bella Beaute Bar formula, at least for the mattes. Okay, how fast can I talk about this? I don't know. The very last thing I want to tell you guys about is this little 9 pan I made. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to like talk really fast, but okay, we have Toxic Hollow and My Life is a Screenshot, and then Ghoul Glam. These are all from Touch of Glam. Then from Terra Moons, we have, is this Antares? Yeah, Antares. We have Andromeda. And then over here, this is like, is Haze of the Moon, which is just like a very pretty champagne kind of tone with some blue shimmer. And then from Cleona, I have Tessera and Royal Pear. And then this last shade is from the Bella Beaute Bar Ultraviolet palette. And I don't remember what this one's called. It's the pastel, oh, it's Magical. So yeah, I wanted to go for some like pastels, some blues. I've been really into blues just like lately in general over the last few months. I'm like, I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't stop wearing blue. So I wanted to put in like some kind of bluish things, but this one is like a blue turquoise. It has got some lime green, but it's just mostly like a very pretty like teal kind of shade. So yeah, I'll put in close-ups of this palette. I want to make sure I can export this footage before I leave for work. But alright guys, wish me luck. Hopefully today has no crap. Luckily I'm just working on my like retrofits, which is when I take apart all the displays and put them back together and reset them and add new products and just clean everything and make it look beautiful. So that's gonna be my job today, and I have to start on like the hardest one, which is, well, it's probably the second to hardest one, which is the foundation and concealer display. Just because it's a lot bigger, it's not gonna be done today, so I'm gonna have to take a couple days probably to do it. But yeah guys, wish me luck. Okay, so here are just some more close-ups of my little palette. I really like this color story. I feel like it has a little bit of everything, and I love that it's got some hollows, a couple iridescents, and more pastel-y shades with a couple brights. So we've got Royal Pear, Magical, Toxic Hollow, My Life is a Screenshot, Ghoul Glam, Antares is that Fury one with the gold shimmer. Then it's Andromeda, Tessera, and Haze of the Moon. Alright, so now I'm just showing you guys a couple products I'm trying to pan right now. So this is probably my third bottle. I'm running very low on the Wet n Wild Dewy Photo Focus Foundation. I'm almost done with my third bottle finally. So I used that today. I'm just trying to use it up. It's one of my favorite drugstore foundations. I just feel like it looks good on me all the time. And now I'm throwing on the Kosas concealer that I've almost panned as well. And then this is a newer Smashbox under eye corrector, but this is probably my third or fourth one now. And I've been using the Kosas to prime my lids. Okay, so I'm just taking this shade right here. It's like a beige. It's called I've Got You Covered, so I'm just throwing that into my crease a little bit. Okay, so this is the Storm Stimulation palette from JCat. I got these in the Alley Glines giveaway, which was like, I think my first makeup video on this channel a while back. But I was always impressed with these. Like, I gave one of them to my stepdaughter, but I kept the other two. And this one, I don't know, I feel like these JCat shimmers are just very high quality, especially for being a very affordable palette. I hope they come out with more stuff like this. I kind of want to use this orange. Like, I never really go for orange shades just because, I don't know, for some reason, I just feel like I gravitate towards like purples, blues, greens, neutrals, like stuff like that. I tend to not really go for warmer tones, but I like that this palette is like pretty cool toned with a touch of warmth to it. So before I like do more, I'm gonna go into the Pastel Garden palette, and I'm just gonna take Ballerina Tulip, which is probably my favorite orange matte I own. And I'm just gonna, I guess I'll just blend this. I'm not sure if I want to do the yellow like out here or on the inner corner. I think I might do it out here. So I'll just start with the orange. More like on the inner lid area. I'm just trying to buff that through my crease. The Bella Beaute bar shimmers, well, I think they're so beautiful, I do struggle with creasing, so it's interesting. My favorite glitter glue is the Bella Beaute bar Shimmer Stay Primer Potion, but I feel like the NYX glitter glue works better with their own shimmers. At least if you have like any creases in your eyelids, which most of us do. Okay, I think, I'm not sure. I really love this warmer pastel yellow Azalea. Archangel's more of like a neon. And then we have Daylily, which is more of like a true pastel yellow. I think I'm just going to take Daylily and blend very gently on my outer crease. I feel like that didn't really do much, so you know what, I'm just gonna start packing it a little bit with the brush. I might just have too big of a fluffy brush right now. Taking a very tiny crease brush here, and I'm going into this orange, which is called 5-Day Forecast. I'm gonna use that to pack on my outer corner. I don't tend to like a lot of orange when I use it, but I think I want to go for something like orange and gold. Maybe we'll use the yellow here. That might be a better idea. Okay. Sometimes when I blend, I'm just not, like, I feel like I'm not awake enough to be doing makeup like every single day. So I feel like I always end up getting it in places I don't want it. You know what? I'll just go with it. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna go into the gold matte, which is called Thor. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna tap that off. It looks, these are actually very pigmented, so you'll probably see this better. There we go. Okay, not too bad. All right, so you know what? I think I'm just gonna go into Pastel Garden with my finger and just I don't know, sometimes when I use these shimmers, I don't want to use any glitter glue. I'm gonna take a very small amount of theirs. I can't find my NYX one, which I would prefer to use with their shimmers. But we're just gonna go do a very light layer. And I'm gonna use Cleopatra Lily, which is this orange to gold shimmer right here. I'm gonna try to be very careful about how I do this. I'm gonna do one eye at a time. I'm very gently tapping it. Like, there's honestly not even that much product on here. I try to keep it like in my crease because that's usually where the issue is. All right. Okay, I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other eye really fast. Now I just want to go into this gold, which is called Say What, and I love that because it reminds me of Hannah Montana. I have not yet watched the special, but I definitely want to because I really loved Hannah Montana growing up. Okay, ever since my nails have been growing out, it's very hard to get in my, like this eye particularly, like this inner corner with my finger. Okay, might want a little bit more. Okay. So, that's what I got. I'm just gonna throw on the rest of my makeup. Then I'm gonna come talk to you about my spring eyeshadow lineup. Okay, so I'm just using the Koki orange blush. This is called the Soft Gradient Blush in the shade BL10 Crushing. Okay, there's like one more thing I want to do. So on my lower lash line, I actually put this shade from the Hela palette, Hellfire, which is like a peachy, almost like gold leaning shimmer. I want to put it as my highlighter. Pretty. Okay, last step, I'm just going to throw on a lip gloss. Okay, so zooming out. This is the look. I'm actually kind of digging it. Like, I don't normally go for orange, but I just haven't done orange in a very long time. I've done yellow a couple times recently. It's feeling like an orange day, so all right. We'll see you next time. Please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.